Hi everyone, I'm going to react to Assassination Classroom Season 2, Episode 23, Final Boss Time. And last episode, um, the kids were able to infiltrate, the school grounds to see Goro Sensei. They brought him a cake because it was his birthday. And then that dude showed up with the second, uh, what was the title that Goro Sensei used to have? Like his first student, you know. And then that dude injected himself with another whatever, man. There was about to be a fight. And yeah, I am not looking forward to this because I feel like the end of this anime is gonna be Kuro Sensei dying, so I am not looking forward to that. But yeah, that's all my last episode. And before we get into this one, if you guys have my reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and please consider supporting my Patreon at patreon.com/filmini. And now let's start this episode. And here we go. Okay, guys, in case the reaction gets blocked and I had to cut out the reaction itself, you can just look in the pinned comment in the comment section where for the link to the reaction highlight itself, so you can just click on it, watch it, and then you just come back for my review. Weakness. Wait, is that the same kind of bullet that hurts Kuro Sensei? like I said last time, I'm not looking forward to the last two episodes. I was not looking forward to it. And I've been sporting a headache ever since I woke up today. So it's like combining that with me not being excited about these last two episodes. It's like, as I was watching the episode, I couldn't muster up like any amount of energy at all. But a couple of things did make me feel slightly better, but not that much better going into the last episode. Because Goro Sensei, when he started this episode, or last episode, the way it ended, he was like, there comes a point where you have to go all out, and he was going all out this episode. And the students were watching him fight against trying to remember this dude's name, man. Yanagisawa kept calling him number 2. Did he actually say his name? Whatever, Ripper number 2. He kept going all out, and then with the students were watching him, and he's like, especially Nagisa, he's the one that was basically running commentary on this fight, and he was saying stuff about how Kuro Sensei was just like outclassed. He was just losing ground. Like he couldn't do anything against Reaper number 2. And then suddenly you see Kuro Sensei fight back, and the students were amazed, especially Ritsu. She was the one that was like basically explaining what Kuro Sensei was doing and how he was evolving as he was fighting Reaper number 2. And I'm like, yes, that's what he always does. Like inside of myself, even though I didn't say anything, inside of myself, I'm thinking that's what he always does, when he's fighting or when there's like some kind of assassination attempt against him. At first you will think that it's working, but then he turns it around on you. And I felt like that's what he was starting to do with him, and I started feeling eternally better about the outcome of this match, I guess. And then what happened? Nagisawa injected this, was it? No, he wasn't Africa. I don't know. At some point, he started basically using the kids as targets, and knowing how Kuro Sensei feels about his students, he was using them. He was trying to attack them. Number 2, try to attack them directly. Expose them, whatever. And Kuro Sensei will be in the way of the attack. He will be taking the full blunt of the attacks. Because he didn't want the students to get hurt. And even before that happened, you hear Nagisa thinking how he didn't full out say it, but you knew that's where he was going with his thoughts about how they were Kuro Sensei's biggest weakness. And when they finally realized it, when he was finally about to say it, which was after Kuro Sensei was getting all those attacks in order to protect the students, and then Kuro Sensei and even Yanagisawa, they were about to say it at the same time. And then Kuro Sensei jumped in and he's like, no, basically. And then him saying that them doing everything that they possibly could to get into the school to save him, that was like the biggest thing for him. That I started to get choked up as he was saying all those things. And basically he's trying to tell the students that they were not his weakness, right? And then Yanagisawa, I don't quite remember how the fight went from beginning to end. Basically, at some point, Karasuma came in with Irina, and they tried to stop Yanagisawa, but Yanagisawa, since he also injected himself with some kind of tentacle stuff. We didn't see any tentacles coming out of him, I don't think, but he injected himself with something as well. So he basically stopped Karasuma, And then what's her name? Kayano seeing that Kuro Sensei was in trouble, because after he took all those hits, he was weakened, right? And then Kayano decided to jump in battle, and then she got killed. And then it's like, at some point during this episode, I just, even though I saw her getting killed, like inside of myself, I'm like, they killed her? I guess there has to be some kind of casualty in this battle. That's basically my thought. As this happened, it's not like, I don't know. I feel like Kuro Sensei's death would hit me more than her death did. You know, like my whole thing during this last few episodes is that I didn't want Kuro Sensei to die. And it feels like that's where it's going. And then Kayano died, and I'm like, okay. And then Kuro Sensei got mad, and Yanagisawa injected Reaper number 2 with some kind of extra juice or whatever that was supposed to do, I guess, to bring him to his full potential, I guess, since Kuro Sensei was also about to unleash his full potential. And there was this big attack that was happened, Reaper 2, and then there was all these different colors that Kuro Sensei was displaying, and it's basically like all the different colors that he's displayed throughout this whole anime sort of like merged into this white light, I guess. And based on what, I didn't fully understand what was happening, but based on what Yanagisawa said, he was basically saying that maybe this wildlife situation was going to basically disintegrate all the tentacles stuff or something or other. I don't know. Because he was trying to run away, you know. And then you see Reaper number 2 also sort of like disintegrating, you know. And then Kuro Sensei used his the knife that the students used to try to kill him. He wrapped it in some kind of towel or something or other, and then he stuck the knife into Reaper number 2. And there was this scene that happened where Reaper number 2, did they actually say his name in the show? I feel like they said it, but I don't think I wrote it down. Well, about the younger self, Reaper number 2, putting these flowers on the table, and he was saying something about that might be some form of assassination or whatever. And human Kuro Sensei that's a good idea, and he smiled. Reaper number 2 smiled. I don't think that's actually happened, because Kuro Sensei was like, he wished he could have seen that smile on his face or something like that. Because based on all the previous interactions between Kuro Sensei and Reaper number 2, that any kind of idea that Reaper number 2 would come up with, Kuro Sensei would immediately shut down, you know, or find some kind of way around it and display that he is more knowledgeable or he's more powerful to Reaper number 2, and that made Reaper number 2 feel invisible, I guess, in front of Kuro Sensei. And this particular scene that they showed with Kuro Sensei basically giving props to Reaper number 2 for thinking about the flowers situation, I feel like it was just something that Kuro Sensei wished he could have done when it comes to Reaper number 2, and by doing that, he might have changed Reaper number 2's, you know, destiny, I guess. Whatever. And yeah, so he killed Reaper number 2. And yeah. And then after that, Kuro Sensei, the kids, well, Nagisa, when the fight was going on between Reaper number 2 and Kuro Sensei, they had taken Kayano away from the battle and ran away from the battle so that they don't get in the way. And after the battle ended, and they were about to put Kayano on the ground, and Kuro Sensei is like, no, please don't do that. I don't want any other germs to, get to her wounds or something or other. Excuse me. I think he brought up this little ball of tissue, whatever. Like, I'm guessing all the parts of Kayano that were destroyed. He basically got all those little bitty pieces, and then he was doing surgery on her and connecting all those tissues and everything. And at some point he needed blood, and then he got was it Nagisa? No, not Nagisa. I feel like Karma was part of that, and Hitona as well. That they had the same blood types, I believe. And then he got some blood from them, and he basically brought Kayano back to life. And as he was doing all these things, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking that here is this government that's trying to kill Kuro Sensei, but here's someone that basically died, and while she was getting attacked or about whatever, while all that was happening to her, he had the mind to get all those little bitty pieces of her, and then he basically brought her back to life. And I'm thinking, y'all are worried about the possibility of him destroying the earth, which is like less than 1% or something or other like that. But then there is this saving also side of him. Like, why don't you just leave him alone and use that part of him, to save other people? Like, he can save people, He's not just there to destroy stuff. And he basically saved this girl that quote unquote died, brought her back to life. So, like, can you just, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, that might be a reason why they might not want to kill him. But then when the episode was ending, then I started thinking, like, clearly this fight between him and Reaper number 2 in Yanagisawa has ended. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, the government was waiting on the gun to reload or whatever, to recharge. So there's that also there, so they can shoot that gun and kill him. So I'm still not sure that he's not gonna die, and until this anime ends and I see him alive, I'm not gonna be fully happy. So I feel like I'm gonna be in this mood until I know for sure that he's not gonna die, What else? I think I've talked enough. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and if you like this reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you want to see my reaction to the next episode, you can do so by checking out my Patreon at patreon.com/family, and you can also see the full length of this reaction there as well. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.